Hi, I'm Marianne. We're book zealots, and today I'm going to give a review on Gilead. It only took me years to finish. Not too bad, right? Years. When this book came out, I had a toddler, yes, Prometheus, and I started it. I think I started it for a book club. And I didn't finish it, obviously. I left it stranded. I left it hanging. I set it down and didn't pick it back up until this month. I'm not even going to calculate how many years that's been. A lot. Anyway, probably like 14 years. Okay. That's a long time to leave a book unfinished. Anyway. I'm glad because now that I'm in a different place in my life, I think this book meant more than if I had finished it then. All things for a reason, right? Okay, so this book is about an elderly man who's in his 70s. I believe he's 77. He is a reverend, and part of this book is about his grandfather and his father, and of course himself, and the diary that he's leaving to his son as kind of letters, but mostly a diary. I believe it's in a diary. He's leaving information and events and thoughts for his son, who is 7, as if he were alive and would be there to talk to his son. His son is 7. Obviously, Reverend Ames started really late in life. His wife is obviously younger, and the information that he has in this book about his wife is so sweet and loving. It's wonderful. There's also a few sub-stories in here about his grandfather and the relationship that the grandfather had with the father, and how the grandfather helped slaves, and was kind of a rough and tumble type of a man. And then that son was a pacifist, and there were some issues. Reverend Ames is watching his son have a relationship with his namesake, who is the son of his friend, Boughton. Boughton. I've been pronouncing it Boughton. This man, when he was a kid, would do some things that were questionable, and some were even against the law. And Reverend Ames never said anything. He questions whether or not he should have. Anyway, this young man, John Ames, appears to be moving in on his family. I'm not going to say what really happened, because that would be a spoiler. And it was interesting because upon first impression, you have an opinion, but then you get a different perspective of what's really going on. Twist in this book was really good. It was well done. It is very thought-provoking. Marilyn has an amazing way of writing. She weaves these stories in such a smooth way that I caught myself thinking, wait a minute, how did we get into this? When she was talking about something else, and then she slides back in where she left off. Amazing. Now, when I started this book, it was a standalone. I have since found out there are 2 more books. I have already bought them. They have yet to arrive. And if I don't get them to them this month, I probably won't. They'll go on my TBR for 2020 for sure. I love this woman's writing. I don't know if she's my favorite author yet. Maybe the top 5. That's another video. That would be a good video. In any way, there are some religious aspects in this book. I think the denomination is Protestant. I'm not 100% sure. However, I do think that even if you're not a believer, this book is still worth reading, just for the life lessons in and of itself, and not to be too quick to have an assumption. Which brings me to a few things that I did have issue with this book, because it wasn't perfect. It is a slow burn, so there's that. If you don't like slow burns, then this is not the book for you. There were a few things in it that weren't biblical, and it came from the Reverend, so red flag. But it's a keeper. I'm keeping this book, and I don't keep very many books. I have about 18 books that I have read and kept, not counting school books and classics for Prometheus. However, I would recommend this. This was good. So anyways, if you have not read it, take a chance, pick it up, see if your library has a copy if you don't want to buy your own. Thanks. Have a great day.